you ever been bullied online? You know, for something you posted, a comment that you made, and you know, we want to discuss this issue here because it seems that these cases are becoming more and more as the days and weeks and months go by. I have been cyberbullied, and I'm very sure you will not be surprised to see who our guests are on the show today and hear their stories about the internet and cyberbullying.
You've been cyberbullied.
I've been cyberbullied.
What did they say to you?
Yeah, of course, they just attack my features. So what I've realized is...
Your features?
No, my features. Yeah, I'm told, like, you know, my nose is too big, my head is too big. But, I mean, I always just, like, sweep that under the carpet. But what I've realized is, for most dudes especially, because I make a lot of comments about gender equality and those sorts of things, a lot of men come attacking me saying I'm defending women too much. And then when they have nothing of substance to say, they attack my...
So after the Wacha Umama comments,
so it's now you know, so they just degenerate into other things.
Okay. Welcome, ladies. Hello. And can I just say thank you so much for even being willing to share your stories with us. I don't think it's easy to revisit these comments and everything that you've been through and the violence of it. So thank you for that. Okay, so actually I started with that before even introducing you guys. So Catherine Muya, you are a lawyer.
Yes. And
you're working on a paper about online violence.
Yes, I am.
Okay. And do you need an introduction? Please. DJ Piera McKenna. Welcome. And Linda Nyongwesa. What do I say? Radio presenter, media personality?
I'll go with anything.
You go
media personality.
Okay, okay. So maybe we start with you, Piera. What have you been told? What have people been upset about? Why did they even attack you?
Oh gosh, mine is so popular. I mean, when I gave birth, it was like, I used to trend every day, you know, because I gained weight, you know. I think I wasn't really prepared to childbirth and all that, and then I gained so much weight. And I remember the first time I came out in public. I went for an event, and the following day, like, the papers were just about me, the internet was about me, you know, my page was just a lot about me. I was being called an elephant, you know, I'd won, you know, I love big hairs though. So
big hair, don't care, yes, we're the same.
You know, then I'd worn this yellow, like, you know, blonde, and they said I'm a burning bush. You know, like, I got a lot of flack, and then, I mean, that is one that I remember very, can I say sadly? Because I feel like I should not be attacked for something that I can't change. One, you know, like, attack me about...
something so natural, like everyone gains. I gained 15 kilos when I was pregnant.
Well, to be honest, mine was just too much. Well,
but what's who's to say too much? It's what you and your baby did.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
And you know, the fact that I was struggling to gain the weight, because I couldn't, I mean, I was going through depression. I couldn't gain weight when I was pregnant. I was about like 49 kgs. I was still pregnant, you know, 3 months. And then now after giving birth, I still was losing. So I had to feed and try to get, you know, like, you know, milk to feed the baby. So I used to feed a lot. You know how Kenyan moms are?
That uji.
Yeah, and bread. So I just gained, and within a minute of, you know, 50 kgs the next time, I gained to about 94 kgs. I was 94.
And I remember, like, you know, because I follow Piera, who doesn't? But, you know, I remember just going through the comments, and I was like, this is so sad that we're such a country that feels that just because somebody is in the public space, that we own you completely, and we can say anything that we want to you. And you know, some of the comments that used to come is like, why don't you start dressing like a mother? You know, things like those, and I'm like, so what does a mother dress like?
Or something like, why don't you just work out?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm trying to figure out how to breastfeed. I'm trying to figure out how to raise this human being. They're like, go to the gym, you know, like.
But that's not the priority right now. The priority is not my waistline, it's my baby. Right?
And why do people feel that you need to explain all those things to them? Do you know? Do you ever get to a point where, like, I don't have to say, I don't have to explain every single thing I'm going through.
Right. Even the biggest question is, why do you want me to be what you think is right?
Yeah.
You see, maybe I'm okay with my weight, like that.
Maybe you are waiting to Nona and, like, get curvaceous and all of this stuff, right?
But they feel that maybe being that 50 kgs or just being that slender and whatever is what is perfect. Who says what is perfect?
And you see, that question is very interesting, because I remember when Linda posted a picture of yourself with your family when you were on holiday.
Yes.
And I saw those pictures because I follow you. I was like, she looks amazing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the second time I have trended.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you were saying, unfortunately for us, especially women in public spaces, people really feel ownership over everything. including how you look. So for me, it was a lot of like, oh my God, her voice is different than her body. And then my body became a very divisive issue. You know, people had strong opinions. Either they were like, you know, just be a plus size person and be happy about it, or there was people who said I was advocating for obesity. Like I was trying to catch people when they weren't, when they were sleeping and make them fat.
Like it's a movement.
Yeah, I'm like trying to make them join my cult of fatness. That's apparently what I was trying to do. So I think a lot of the time we need to really be conscious about how we talk to people in online spaces. And I'm not just talking about celebrities or people in the media. It's anybody who has a platform online, because once you create a situation where you feel so much ownership over somebody who you don't know what their life is like outside of that one tweet, you don't know what's going on with them. For instance, that picture of me in a swimsuit, first of all, it's taken me almost 20 years to be comfortable with my body.
Right.
I was the kind of person who would hide when I was swimming. It would be the t-shirt and the shorts, you know? And I've come to a place where I'm like, hey, I don't want to drown, sis. I'm going to swim.
All this extra fabric
and
in the
I'm really
pool,
good
like,
at swimming,
yes.
and I'm going to keep swimming. So I feel like once you take something like that out of context and you give it a space and you fan the flames to have these discussions where you feel ownership over a woman's body, it's usually especially a woman. I'm sorry you went through it, but it seems more brutal when it's a woman because, first of all, you sexualize her, you weaponize her body, you make it so that her existence, she consistently has to answer for it and consistently has to speak about it as if you are owed an explanation for her existence.
Yes, yes.
And
so
that's not
actually,
okay.
I love that you brought that up, the weaponization, and then just how violent it is towards women. Like people will tell Mikey has a big head and whatever, but to women, I remember having some political views that somebody didn't approve of, and they were threatening me with sexual assault.
True.
I said something about abortion that somebody didn't approve of, and I was so, I've never forgotten this moment. It actually changed how I do my mornings, because I woke up, I picked up my laptop, I opened my email, and I got an email, not even on social media, an email, and someone said, you should have been aborted.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Can you imagine? First thing in the morning,
And
I was
this
like...
is because of an opinion you had about an issue.
Yes.
Okay, so there's something called the ad hominem fallacy, which essentially is when you're debating with somebody about something and you've reached ETC.
You have nothing else to say.
Nothing else to say. You start attacking. And I've seen this a lot with guys. Now, for me, in my experience, women know a lot about a lot because they read a lot, you know, and they do a lot of research. You watch a lot of podcasts and things. Guys know a lot just because they're guys, you know. So you'll always hear this argument of a guy arguing with a lady, and she's chomoing facts like this, and him when he says whatever he wants to say, she asks him, "Why is that your opinion?" And he says, "It's just like that." Inakuanga tu hivyo.
It's culture.
Yeah,
that's another one.
It's like that. So, but her, she's saying, according to this book I've read, and according to this podcast I watched, and according to this documentary, she's got her facts here.
Right.
And the guy doesn't. So usually what happens is those sorts of arguments, the guy will start saying, "Well, you're not even as hot as you think you are. When you think you're just coming." So you wonder, how did this degenerate from
one minute you're a mother, the next minute you're not a mother, the next thing you're fat, then you're thin, then you're the other.
Yeah.
Yes, but Catherine, what have you found in your paper? You've been doing this research since when?
September.
Okay, so what have you found?
So first, I have been doing the research since September, but I work at a place called the Lawyers Hub, which is a firm that deals with digital policy. It's a legal firm that deals with digital policy and technology.
Okay.
So we've been working on these issues for a longer period than September.
Okay.
And what we found is, like they're saying, women in public spaces are more prone to violence. However, they're not the only ones. Like, we have women who are in intimate sexual relations who are also prone to violence.
Right.
But theirs is just more visible because they have more following.
Okay.
You get? And so it can happen to anyone, ideally. It can happen because you either have strong political beliefs or strong religious beliefs, or like what you're saying, you have strong opinions about abortion or anything else. And this is just something that if you want to highlight, then people are going to come after you, not necessarily because of what you're saying, but it's going to start out as what you're saying. And then it's going to set out onto you. Like, how do you look like, what are you wearing, and how are you dressing?
So maybe you can confirm something for me. I feel like women are more likely than men to be threatened with physical bodily harm, with sexual assault, and you know, like Linda is pointing out, like the weaponization of our bodies. I think that's more likely to happen to women. Is that something you've experienced?
Well, it's not actually something you feel. It's something that I can support with research, for example.
Okay.
And so there have been a couple of research I can mention, like one that was done and released last year in October by Policy, another that was released by Article 19. And all this research just points to, and even UN Women, I think they tried to retract that, but they had already said and given estimates of even times 50, the fact that women are that prone to online violence. And that's why even organizations like the Web Foundation, like the WWW, like WW, the one where we all have websites, they have this foundation arm that runs their foundation work and their civic space work.
Oh, I didn't know that, okay.
And so they prioritize this because of the effect that it has on women. So women in media and women in politics, and then generally in women, because they recognize, or we all recognize as lawyers and people who are working in the digital rights space, that this is an intersectional issue, that it starts fast.
Explain that. What do you mean by intersectional?
Intersection means that you have, you have this big group of things. So you have A and B, you're either man or you're woman. And then now we have women who are more prone to this than men. Then in this category of women, we have people like Piera, people who are famous, and people who can, you know, people who are famous, people who we know. And so those ones we can put on top. But then also we have other people who we never see, like sexual minorities. So you can have all these sorts of small things. You know, you can be a woman.
So it's not just lesbians who are picked on.
Yeah, so
it's
you can
women more than men.
Yeah.
And then it's a specific woman. If you're in leadership, if you're in the public eye.
Exactly.
Whatever
so
it is.
you can be a woman, then you can be a politician, and then you can even narrow it down and say you can be a woman politician from this tribe. So that if we are, let's say, for example, we are going into elections, and it becomes a lot of it's so divisive and toxic on Twitter when we go into elections. And so we can say that you maybe support one faction of maybe the politicians. And so we can say, you're going to be targeted, one, because you're a politician, because you're public, and you have all these types of followings. You probably have 1 million followers and stuff like this. Then you're going to be targeted because of what you say, also because of your tribe, and then also because, let's say, for example, of your marital standing. So what I see in terms of even journalists is you can be single, or you can be married, and then we'll pick on who you married, or we'll pick on you because you're not married, or we'll pick. So it's that type of intersection.
Why do you think that people feel so threatened by women who have got voice, agency, and power, especially men? Why do you think? And Linda, maybe you can. why do you think men especially feel so threatened by that? Because when men see a woman with voice, she's got agency, she's got power, she can talk, she's confident, and you know, she's all about her business. Suddenly that becomes very threatening to people.
I think threatening is putting it lightly. It's a situation where men feel like women are something that should be owned by men. So when you see a woman who you said, who has agency, who has thoughts and opinions, who has motivations, who has plans for her future that don't involve a man, all of a sudden a man feels like he's been cut out of the equation. And so for some reason, instead of figuring out, okay, then what can we do to plug into this conversation, it becomes an attack on this woman. And that's why, unfortunately, for I think everyone here can relate, as I don't know if it's a cultural thing, but it usually becomes that a woman is only as valued as the man she is owned by. So I'll give the example of myself. I think a lot of the people who are coming into my defense, I'll say it in quotes, to my defense, when all this was happening, were women and men who were like, oh, but she has a husband. So then my value became that if one man can find her attractive, then we should all cut her some slack. Not because I am a woman with my thoughts, with my body, with my confidence, with my ideas. It became that if this random guy we've never seen has validated America, she should be okay. Right? So that's why you find, apparently it's an insult to be called a single mother. Apparently it's an insult to not be married after a certain age. It's not an insult. That is, that's something you see, okay? You're defining somebody by what you visibly see. So it's not even an insult to say somebody is fat. Okay, there's some people who are hurt by that word because it has been weaponized. And then it's a descriptive word. If you're, how does Linda look like?
But what does it do to you as a woman in the public eye when all this happens? What does that do to your self-expression? What does that do to your relationship with your public? Because there are people who love you. There are people who are like, Linda, I want to know what Linda has to say. I want to know what DJ Pierre is up to. You know, there are people who love you. What does it do to you when you receive this hatred, this violence, these threats, everything? What does it do to you?
Can I answer that?
Yes.
I think that nobody really talks about the trauma that's involved with getting cyberbullied. I think for me, I was a very vocal person online. And if you see my track record online now, I don't really have a presence as I did before. And it's not because I have no opinions. It's more that I feel like this is not a safe space that's been created for everyone's opinions and everyone's autonomy to be respected. It's instead a place where we've created anonymity for somebody who has a different opinion to not just have this educational argument with somebody where I want to figure out why you believe what you believe, but instead wants to attack. So for me, it manifested in the trauma of knowing that when I finally do get back online, I want to do it in a purposeful way where I can guard my my happiness and my joy and my privacy. However, for other people, what it does instead is it alters how they look online. So you'll find a lot of people who were bullied become bullies.
Oh.
You know, where it becomes that you've now normalized it in your head that this is just how we interact in an online space.
You know, it's interesting that you say that, and not saying that Pierre is a bully, but Pierre, but Pierre is like the sweetest person on earth.
True.
And when this whole thing started with people coming at you, I saw a different Pierre.
Oh.
Because Pierre now just like came out and was jibishaning with guys.
Let it burn.
And I remember the time I even asked you about it. She was I was like, God damn, okay. You know, like, yeah. So did you feel like that experience sort of changed you and hardened you to a point where you felt now that you had to come out as a totally different person, you know, and very tough?
Yeah, well, you're right about that. But let me take you back. Before even I ever got bullied, I used to be scared about trending, you know, like being bullied generally. So I used to be like, wake up in the morning. I was very active on Twitter as well. But then sometimes I used to be like, what if I wake up and there's a hashtag Piera, you know, and everybody's just talking about me. Like, it's something I used to fear until the date happened. And then I was like, oh, damn, here it is. Like, I was panicked, you know, I talked to my friends. I was like, you know what, I'm trending for the wrong reasons, you get? And then in the evening flickered and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still alive. My rent is paid. Oh, and then I realized,
your worst fear materialized,
exactly.
and it wasn't
and
the
then
worst.
It didn't kill me. Nobody of all those people came and said, I'm not going to pay your rent ever again. I will never cook for you. I will never give you money, you know? No, my life continued. So those people were actually irrelevant. And then when I went through the page, like, you know, looking at the people who are bullying, I never saw anybody who's doing better than me. You know, like,
nice.
I did not see somebody like Michael Shearer, someone who's doing well, like you. It's either somebody who doesn't like you, somebody who's in competition with you, somebody who doesn't celebrate your success. So I was like, oh, I see. So guys, keep up, do your thing. Even when bloggers write about me, I look at them, I'm like, do you think this guy will get something to eat at the end of the day?
Right.
Because of writing about me, I'm like, bless you, brother, just write.
If
So
I
it
put food on your
doesn't,
table.
yeah, just do it. So I learned to realize that the people behind the keyboard, the problem is them. It's not me. If they think I'm fat, you know, I'm not maybe achieved much, I'm a single mom, you know, that's about them. I'm a happy, you know, single mom.
Yeah.
Like, it has nothing to do with me. It's actually about them.
So now, how do you cope with the bullying? You said you took yourself out of the space.
Out of the equation, but also I think we're in a place of privilege where we can honestly say our work is part of that, right? So our work is also online and we can't really take ourselves completely out of that space. So I think that you find a way to cope. Like you said, you have to either find a way to realize that these people don't know you personally.
Right.
And my motto is always, your opinion of my body has nothing to do with me. That is your opinion. And everyone is entitled to their opinion, but you know what they say, opinions are like a-holes. Like, I don't want to hear yours. It's fine, stick with it. So I think that it's just a mind shift, like you said, but also, after finding out about your organization and what you do, it was upsetting to me to know that it's not public enough. I am a media personality. I should have had access to this. Sure. So I can't imagine somebody else who's not in this space, because I didn't know what to do. After that, I went to a cybersecurity expert. He helped me track it down. I later found out the original tweet was started by somebody who worked in a media house.
Wow.
So it's
exactly what Pierre is saying.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not a secret that it's a toxic situation that we've created and we've okayed and we've normalized. And unless we know where to go and say, this is not okay, this is what has happened to me, how do I report it? You feel stupid going to a police station. Like, someone called me fat on the internet, you know?
We have to take a short break. But of course, remember, we are asking you the question of the day. Have you ever been bullied on the internet? Have you been a victim of cyberbullying? Of course, you've had the accounts that have been given here, very, very harrowing ones, but these are very strong women who, have come out, shining from those experiences. We want to hear from you, and of course the WhatsApp number is on the screen right now. You can talk to us via WhatsApp, or you can use the hashtag LoopK24. Don't go too far, more to come in a short while.
Si